Alex, I wonder, does it feel like you're finally settling into this champ life? I mean, it seemed like for the start of your reign, it was always like, oh, no, he's got to prove it. He didn't win that fight. He's got to go prove it. But now, I don't think there's any doubt. Does it feel like you're finally kind of settled in as the established champion?
Yeah, man, you are definitely feeling that. You know what I mean? Nothing but positive vibes, and the beauty of it, that's all I'm looking at anyway. So a lot of times you talk to. We there? Yeah. So a lot of times you'd probably talk to Alex Volkanovski, the guy I've always been, you know what I mean? But today you're talking to the champ, you know what I mean? And that's something that I want to wear this crown, you know what I mean? I earned it, you know what I mean? I deserve it, so I don't have to feel like I'm being cocky by owning that crown that I deserve to wear. So that's mate, it's beautiful, really. The freedom I have, even just chatting to you guys, man, it's incredible. But again, you're talking to the champ now, not just a regular bloke from down the road, which I've always been, and I sort of pride myself on that. But hey, it's time to really own that and wear that crown proudly.
I mean, we have to address you as like Mr. Volkanovski now or something.
Yeah, champ. You can address me as champ today. After this, you can call me Alex. It's all good.
All right, champ. Well, the thing that's cool is I really feel like you are finally starting to get that recognition, right? Like, I think the doubters are gone. Has that been important to you at all to finally hear that and see that? I mean, I know you always believed in yourself, but to now hear it and see it from other people, is that important to you?
Man, look, it is. I've been obviously sounding like a broken record all week about it. The best thing about this is that I don't care, right? I don't care about that. But yes, it's definitely changed. But I've changed, I'm not looking for the negatives. And this was only recently where I was like, what are you doing? I was like paying way too much attention to all that type of stuff and, letting that just put weight on my shoulders for nothing. It was holding me back. I couldn't be myself. I couldn't be free, as I'm trying to say. Where now, yes, it has changed, but what's better about it is the fact that I don't care if it didn't. You know what I mean? I really don't. If I wasn't getting it, whatever. Who cares? Move on. You will jump on board soon. That doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at right now, and that's what I love about it. But yeah, it's definitely changing, and it's good.
The names that you've been beating, obviously Ortega, Holloway, Aldo. I mean, now you look at Zombie. I just wonder where you see, like, A, your excitement level. I mean, he's a guy that's been around for a long time, of course. But B, maybe also like the challenge, though. I mean, those guys were the specialists at what they do. This guy's, more of a veteran than necessarily the clear number one contender. So where does your excitement level and the challenge level live here for you?
Oh, man, I'm pumped for this. I'm absolutely pumped. Obviously, it's a new face. Not really a new face, but I mean, obviously, across the octagon for me. But he's definitely a familiar face. He's been around forever. It's a guy that I've always wanted to fight. I've always thought I was going to fight. You know what I mean? It's a Zombie. He's been at the top of the game ever since this featherweight division has ever started. So, it was something that this is a legacy fight. This is someone, I've taken out a lot of the legends, and I want to keep taking out legends. So he's definitely one of them. He's earned this spot. I mean, he definitely has. So I'm motivated 100%. Again, like I'm going to be motivated no matter who's in front of me because there's expectation what I want, out of myself. So I'm going to go out there do my thing, but. Unfortunately for him, you know what I mean? I'm happy for him that he got a title shot. It's probably going to be his last title shot. And again, I don't want to say I'm looking past him like I'm cocky, but I mean, where I'm at right now, I can't see myself being beaten. I did him a solid we did him a solid by giving him this last shot. But that's it. That's as far as this favor goes because I'm going to take that away from him. But yeah.
I was gonna, his reputation obviously well deserved, but you mean the killers that you've been facing? I mean, does he do any is there any one particular thing that he does? Like, oh man, we haven't seen this before. Or, man, we got to really be careful for this.
Oh, there's plenty. Yeah, there definitely is. Especially like you talk about guys that obviously come forward and they're gamers and that, right? There's plenty of them, but he'll put your lights out at the same time. He'll eat one to give one, literally eat one to give one, which is always fun. It's going to be a fun fight. Obviously, it's going to be a crowd pleaser, that's for sure. But it's going to leave a lot of openings for me. You know what I mean? I'm going to be calculated. I'm not going to be silly. A lot of people are, you're going to try and top the last one. I'm not going out there to try and top it to make everyone happy. It's just this fight is what I'm expecting to happen anyway, whether it tops it or not. But, I mean, it's going to be a banger because that's just how he fights, and I'm going to make him pay. You come at me and try and find my chin and walk forward to me, I'm going to make you pay. I'm going to make you miss, and I'm going to be capitalising on every opening that he gives me. So I'm looking forward to going in there and put on a show and just showing everyone where I'm at right now.
Nice. Last thing for me, I guess, ask, now that there really is no question as to whether you're the champion or deserving, whatever, what do you want to accomplish with the reign? Because it feels like it's starting now, you know what I mean? So what do you want to accomplish as champion?
Oh, man, just keep doing what I'm doing. I think this is a new part right now. Like I said, what we just talked about, you know what I mean? Just where I'm at right now, headspace and everything. You know what I mean? This is where you're going to see me like with the freedom that I talk about, talking to you guys outside fight week and in the octagon. People are going to see that and they're going to see me really own that, and you know what I mean. And that's obviously going to add to the legacy as well. But I want to keep taking these guys out. You know what I mean? And I've got a division to hold. I will do that. Then we're going to talk about other divisions and all that. Yeah, we'll do that. But right now, I want to defend this baby a few times this year. I want 3 fights this year. And again, this is going to be a big, massive year for me. And it starts Saturday night. Well, it starts now.
Alex, to your right over here.
Yep.
A lot of talk coming into this, or I guess the debate is starting whether you're the greatest featherweight ever. Where do you think you stand right now? Of course, I think the 3 people in there are Max Holloway and Jose Aldo, and you, of course, have beaten them both, one guy twice. So do you feel like you've already solidified that, or do you think this is the fight that does it? Do you have more work to do?
Look, man, I believe I've still got more work to do. You know what I mean? I give Aldo the respect to be champion for as long as he was is incredible. You know what I mean? No matter, the opposition that I'm facing, obviously with guys like himself and Max and that, I think, I'm fighting absolute killers. Like it's pretty clear. But at the same time, to be champion that long, there's going to be days you don't show up, bad weight cuts, injuries, you name it. You know what I mean? We've all done it, and it's a nightmare to not be on a day you've got to go out there and defend your belt. And for him to be able to be champion for so long, that's saying something. Do I think I need that many defenses? No, I don't. Do I think I'm there right now? No, I'm not going to claim that yet. I'm going to go out and do my thing. People want to claim it for me, all good, but I still got some work to do.
And with this 10-0 run in the UFC so far that you're on, just going off what you said there, sometimes things don't click on the night of the fight. What do you think has been the one for you where, despite getting the victory, it's maybe been the hardest lead up to the fight or the actual fight itself you didn't feel right?
There's going to be a few, but obviously there's an obvious one. Fight Island was obviously a tricky one, and that's why fighting with no crowd. Obviously it was a short camp. That was a short notice fight. Just a few things like that. You know what I mean? Like some days you aren't going to turn up. You know what I mean? But to not turn up and still win, now that's saying something. Against the best, you know what I mean? It's really saying something. So that's why I give him that respect. You know what I mean? Because I know how hard it can be. You know what I mean? And that's why I love these crowds again, man. Like it's incredible being in front of you guys. Just soaking up all the energy. Last one was incredible, and I can't wait to go out there and put on a show again.
And last thing, of course, there was the talk about Max Holloway maybe being the backup here. Do you know if he's weighing in on Friday? Do you know if he's coming here?
Oh, man, look, I don't even know if that was even, I think that was me, again, what I was talking about. This was only new, me, things that I was, how I was, right? This is stuff that I've really started to overcome lately. So, I don't even know if he was even saying that or he was asking that. That was me looking into what people are saying. Maybe you guys were saying, I don't know. That's me looking at stuff that, like, why are you looking for this sort of stuff? But that's where I was at, you know what I mean? And here I would end up saying stuff. Why was I doing that? For the haters. I wanted something to prove to the haters, I was doing all this sort of stuff and letting these negative comments that I'm talking about and all that sort of negativity get to me. Where I was like, so I'm making silly decisions purely to prove people wrong and all that type of stuff, where now you ain't going to see me making them decisions for them reasons. You know what I mean? So that's, again, it was obviously unfortunate for him, and we'll see what happens later. But yeah, man, it's I sort of forgot the question where you went. I end up rambling like I like to do.
Alex over here, sir. Champ, excuse me.
Yep.
Big event. You're closing the show once again with the big bantamweight grudge match on the card. There's the Hamzat Chimaev Gilbert Burns fight. I'm sure you envisioned being that guy on the poster and being the main event in these cards, but what has that been like for you, and has it lived up to your expectations? Has it exceeded your expectations?
Oh man, we knew this was going to be a big fight. Obviously, it's a stack card. There's a lot of hype around it. People are going nuts about it, so it's good. You know what I mean? It's definitely what I expected, if not more. You know what I mean? Again, there's a good buzz, a real good energy and feel to the whole week, where I'm at, everything, and just how the week's going. So nothing but positive vibes on my end.
Zombie was in here earlier, very complimentary of you. Feels like you're the most well-rounded fighter that he's fought in his career, but he also says, as well-rounded as you are, he's better at each and every aspect of the game that you're at. He's even better than you are. What's your response to that? You think it's just him just being very confident heading into a fight, or do you think he truly believes that? What do you think about his comment?
Oh man, again, you're gonna, as you say, you're gonna try and say the right things, right? So that's what you want to hear. That's what his fans want to hear, right? So people are gonna say that. And but you know, at the end of the day, I don't think he is better than me at all them things. But you can be good. Like I've fought wrestlers, I've fought strikers and all that, and I beat them at their own game, even if people thought they were better than me. Why? Because I'm so well-rounded, and the way I put it together. I go, that's the thing. He wants to separate these things, these sports. I blend it all together better than anyone. So you got my, obviously, I think I'm one of the greatest athletes there is right now. I bust my ass to be in that position. Then I got the fight IQ, resilience, durability, everything. I got so many tools that come into play. Him relying on, even the way you said that, talking about, I'm better at the grappling and sort of separating them is where I know I'm levels above him. And I don't mean that in any disrespect, but that's how I see it. I go, I could, if I had to do someone that was a jiu-jitsu guy, as you've seen, MMA is different. You can go and you can get me. Yeah, obviously you got me in some bad positions, but I get up, I'm going to punch your head through the canvas. You hold and guard, you be there, be prepared to be punched in the face. You don't get to chill and do things, you know what I mean? This is a different game. You got cages in the way, you got striking, you got different looks, you got fakes. There's so many things that come to play. So if he really does think he's better than me in these places, that doesn't matter anyway. But obviously I don't believe that.
Speaking of fighters who are complimentary of you, Piotr Jan was in here earlier. There's a lot of comparisons between you guys, and he put you over as a great champion, a guy who does things correctly, preparation, everything. Just wanted to get your thoughts on Jan as a fighter in his fight with Sterling, and how do you see that matchup going?
Yeah, Jan's a man. I know I've known him for a while. We've trained together for a long time, and again, we are pretty similar. We're both. I pretty much just said everything when you talk about, fight IQ, resilience, durability, busting your ass, working hard, all that type of stuff. He ticks all the boxes. That's why, these guys that are like that are going to be hard to beat. They never give up attitudes and all that type of stuff. Like when you got all them tools plus these things that aren't easy, like you can't really be taught some of these things, to have them as well on top, they're hard men to beat.
Last thing for me, because you said something very interesting about being free and letting a lot of that stuff go. And you came into the UFC as a guy who came up through the ranks. You wanted to be the good guy. You didn't want to be the guy that was rising up, being somebody you're not. You didn't want to be the trash talking guy. You wanted to do things your own way and let your merit determine where you were going to go as a fighter. So with fight buildups and things like that, what are the lines in your eyes, and how do you think things have evolved on that end? Like we see what's happening between Covington and Masvidal, that kind of thing, what that has led to and other examples. Where do you think the game is heading from that aspect?
Well, you'll never see me be a Colby Covington, that's for sure. But, again, I'll just be me. I'll be free. If that's what I'm saying. I just want to show my character. I am a friendly guy, but if you piss me off, I'm going to say something. That's just how I am. But again, I don't feel like I have to try and force something and be someone I'm not, just to please everyone. That's something I'm over that. You know what I mean? I feel like I can be myself, and that's good. You know what I mean? Again, the freedom of that. But at the same time, if I do decide to go that heel route or something like that, that's a decision I make, I'll be comfortable with it. You know what I mean? Even if it was a wrong decision at the time, I'll move on. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at right now. Usually I'll be sitting there doing my head in for forever. Be like, why'd you say that? Oh, now it's like, well, yeah, whatever. Move on. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at. So just be me. That's what I'm comfortable with and confident in as well. So that's something that I'm actually proud of as well.
Alex, you've been getting a lot of love, obviously, with all the work that you've been doing at 145 pounds. But on a bigger spectrum, pound for pound of the best fighters today, where do you think you're at? Do you feel like you should be in that conversation among the very best pound for pound fighters?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I believe so. Like, look at there's a lot of guys that you'd look at, GOATs and, people that are near the pound for pound list. Like, I beat these guys as well, you know what I mean? So obviously you're going to have me right up there, but I know people that know the game know that I'm right up there. But, after, like I said, even after this weekend and after a couple of fights, everyone's going to be throwing my name right up there. I truly do believe that. Again, I'm very confident in my abilities and where I'm at. And, again, I'm going to show that this weekend.
Yeah, you mentioned how Korean Zombie was a guy that you hoped that you cross paths with, and here you are. Mm-hmm. Any other names at 145 or any super fights or any names that you would like to have at some point in your resume when it's all said and done?
Oh man, obviously all of them. I want a piece of all of them. So whoever's that number one spot's always going to get it. But I mean, you obviously got guys that have been in the division, But again, I'm trying to think now who's still in the division. So they're coming and going a fair bit, but it comes up a fair bit. Obviously, people ask about Conor and things like that, and everyone's going to throw his name out there because it's the money fight and all that type of circus around it and all that. But again, this is obviously a guy he's held this belt in my division as well. I've taken out the other guys. I haven't had the chance to do him. Obviously, that's something that would be incredible, but he ain't making featherweight. If I've got to move up to still take that title, I would. But so that's something that obviously intrigues me when you talk money, hype, all that type of stuff. But not just that. He's someone else that's held this, and I want to take them all out. Again, the legends of my division, I want to take them out.
And to stay on that topic, Conor had like a really interesting run at 145. I mean, it was great, but it was also very quick. Where would you rank him among the champions? And just for history's sake, where would you put him as far as the greatest featherweights out there?
Yeah, man, you need defenses. That's the thing. Like, I'm going to give him respect. The dude can fight. You know what I mean? He's made some bad decisions and all that type of stuff, but he can fight. You know what I mean? To take out Aldo in Aldo's prime and all that, that's saying something as well. But I think Aldo's still showing that he's still in his prime, so he just doesn't age. But again, I feel like I've definitely done a lot more than him. So I think he's out of all the champions. I'd say you have to be at the bottom of the list. He ain't gonna like that, but whatever.
And last one for me, Korean Zombie was here earlier, and I asked him what's his favorite zombie film. I wonder if you're a zombie fan, and if so, any movie out there that you have a special spot for?
Zombie fan. I think someone's asked me this, and I should already know the answer. But man, everyone knows. I know Game of Thrones. They ain't really zombies, are they? Similar, sort of. The guys that come out. Can I get away with that? I get away with that, eh? There's a lot of like weird shit in that movie, so you could say there's zombies that are involved there. So I reckon that, because I don't know if you remember, but that was my walkout for all my way to the belt. That was where I ended that. It was like, all right, now we're on to a new chapter. So that was a big part of my life. So because Game of Thrones, obviously, for me to have it as my walkout song was a big movie. So I'm going to claim that. They're zombies.
Thank you, Alex.
They ain't White Walkers, they're zombies.
Yeah, Alex, right here. You just mentioned the idea of moving up in weight to lightweight. How much longer do you plan on staying at featherweight?
It just depends on what the division does. So I've said this a few times where, we've got a lot of guys that are so close to a title shot. You go out and you fight that, you take that number one spot. It's not hard for a lot of these guys. Literally have one more fight against the right guy and everyone's screaming your name. And then I'm going to fight you. That's it. I don't care who it is. But, if you're going to sit there waiting, wanting shit given to you, expecting title shots, as you've seen when Max got injured, everyone was putting their hand up and expecting a title shot given to him. That's a shit mentality. You know what I mean? Change that mentality, go and earn that number one spot, and then I'll be active in this featherweight division. If not, while you're sorting your shit out, I'll move up and fight in lightweight. So I could be fighting the next 3 fights in featherweight, depending on what these guys want to do.
All right, thanks, Alex.
Thank you.